A woman, joyfully heading to a shop to pick up her custom-made wedding ring, was unaware that her fiancé was intimately entangled with another woman in their jointly decorated bridal suite. After collecting the ring and booking their honeymoon, Yumi Ri sent a message to her fiancé, Kim Woo-ju, hoping to have dinner together that evening. At that moment, Kim Woo-ju, between kisses with his lover, replied to the message, falsely claiming he was still at work. The next day, as Yumi Ri was arranging their new home and talking to her mother on the phone, she complained about the cost of the wedding, which she felt could be better spent on their new home expenses. Her mother reminded her to be understanding and not complain about Kim Woo-ju not covering the full rent for the new home, to avoid embarrassing him. Yumi Ri, inheriting her mother's traits and being a rare good wife and mother of her time, suddenly stepped on a woman's earring, sparking a bad feeling. After hanging up the phone, Yumi Ri found a long hair that obviously wasn't hers on the bed. Kim Woo-ju had already moved into the bridal suite alone, while Yumi Ri was still living in her old house. These clear signs indicated that Kim Woo-ju was seeing another woman. Yumi Ri confronted Kim Woo-ju with the earring, demanding an explanation. He lied, claiming it belonged to a female colleague who had accidentally left it during a company visit to their bridal suite. Yumi Ri quickly checked the social media accounts of Kim Woo-ju's colleagues. On the day of the supposed team building, they were all busy with their own activities, suggesting that Kim Woo-ju had a private date with the female colleague instead. She also found a photo of the colleague wearing the earring. If Kim Woo-ju refused to confess, she was ready to confront the other woman at his company. Frightened, Kim Woo-ju confessed but shamelessly tried to justify his actions. To atone, he slapped himself, reminding Yumi Ri that they were already registered for marriage, had booked the wedding venue, and paid the deposit for the new home, hoping she would weigh the pros and cons and forgive him this once. As soon as she finished speaking, a female colleague suddenly sent him a photo of herself in sexy lingerie. Yumi Ri noticed his strange behavior and insisted on checking his phone. They struggled over the phone, and in an attempt to destroy the evidence, Kim Woo-ju threw the phone on the ground and stomped on it. Yumi Ri tried to pick it up, but accidentally got her hand stepped on. In that moment, Yumi Ri felt utterly disillusioned. Over their 5 years together, Kim Woo-ju had shown little care for her, and she realized that even if they married, they would likely end up divorced. It was better to end the relationship sooner rather than later. Before leaving, she threw coffee in Kim Woo-ju's face as punishment. A month later, they filed for divorce. Yumi Ri did not want to worry her mother and asked Kim Woo-ju to agree on a story that he was too busy for the wedding, which would be postponed. They planned to gradually tell her mother the truth later. Kim Woo-ju, shamelessly, was off to meet his new girlfriend and handed Yumi Ri the divorce papers, asking her to submit them when due. Yumi Ri quietly canceled the wedding venue, honeymoon, and wedding dress rental. After handling everything, sadness overwhelmed her, and she went to play baseball alone, vowing to move on and live well. On the day she was to submit the divorce papers, the police suddenly showed up. Yumi Ri learned that her bridal suite was involved in a rental scam. The landlord, while abroad, had left the property under a management company's care. Unbeknownst to the management company's boss, an employee had impersonated the landlord and signed the lease with Yumi Ri. The police advised her to move out to avoid being sued by the landlord for trespassing. Immediately, Yumi Ri called Kim Woo-ju, whose uncle worked at the prosecutor's office, hoping he could help recover 300 million won. However, Kim Woo-ju's new girlfriend was unhappy with him taking the call, and the heartless Kim Woo-ju told Yumi Ri that contacting an ex-boyfriend like this was impolite, and they were no longer related. She should handle her problems on her own. A helpless Yumi Ri drowned her sorrows in alcohol. Later, as she staggered home drunk, she bumped into a car parked by the roadside. The man from the car came out to help her up and offered to take her to the hospital. Yumi Ri waved him off, indicating she was fine. The man then saved his phone number in her mobile, advising her to contact him to reimburse her medical expenses. Seeing the name Kim Woo-ju saved in her phone, she mistook him for her ex-boyfriend, grabbed him, and vented her fury. The man, also named Kim Woo-ju, was confused by her sudden aggression and quickly returned to his car. Yumi Ri followed him into the car and refused to get out. After a long argument in the car, Kim Woo-ju managed to get Yumi Ri out, but she quickly ran after him, jumped on his back, and covered his eyes while cursing. Kim Woo-ju struggled to get her off, And unexpectedly, Yumi-ri lost her balance and sat down on a cactus full of sharp spines. While crying, Yumi-ri talked about her ex-boyfriend's betrayal and asked for Kim Woo-ju's help due to the pain. Kim Woo-ju contacted a doctor friend who treated her wounds, then diligently drove her home. Yumi-ri had to kneel on the passenger seat, which caused her motion sickness. Kim Woo-ju stopped the car on a bridge to let her get some air. As Yumi-ri watched the sunrise, she reflected that despite her life's troubles, the sun would still rise, suggesting there might always be a way forward in life. When parting, Kim Woo-ju advised Yumi-ri to check in at a hospital. Yumi-ri apologized for the trouble she caused and offered to transfer money for the car ride and medical expenses. Kim Woo-ju did not respond and quickly drove away. Unlucky Yumi-ri returned home to catch up on sleep, but was awakened by a phone call. The caller claimed to be from Beautiful Department Store, congratulating her on winning a prize. Yumi-ri initially thought it was a scam, but then she remembered that when she picked up her ring, a store mascot had given her a lottery ticket to win a 5 billion won villa. She had casually written her name and phone number on it, folded a corner, and stuffed it in. The department store had already predetermined the winner to be the mayor's wife's nephew. A representative planned to fake the draw by hiding the pre-selected ticket in his sleeve and pretending to draw it from the box. However, he accidentally dropped the rigged ticket into the box and panicked while searching for the folded corner. When he finally found it and announced the winner, he was shocked to see it was not the ticket he had rigged. Under the public's gaze, he couldn't cheat and had to announce Yumi-ri's name. Yumi-ri couldn't believe her stroke of luck. The rules required the winner to be a newlywed couple without a home and to present a marriage certificate to claim the prize. Fortunately, she hadn't submitted her divorce papers yet and quickly provided all the required documents. The department store's secretary confirmed that Yumi-ri and Kim Woo-ju were newlyweds of 5 months without their own home, meeting all conditions for the prize. However, with the husband unable to attend the award ceremony, the representative was looking for ways to disqualify Yumi-ri. Upon learning that the husband couldn't attend, he immediately ordered to add a rule. If fraud was discovered, the winner would lose the prize and face legal consequences. Both spouses must attend the ceremony together. Not wanting to miss this rare opportunity, Yumi-ri called her ex-boyfriend for help, but Kim Woo-ju, annoyed by the interruption, blocked her. While Yumi-ri was brainstorming solutions, she suddenly received a message from Kim Woo-ju asking if she had checked her arm at the hospital. Realizing that Kim Woo-ju shared the same Korean name and bore a resemblance to her ex-boyfriend, Yumi-ri thought she might just be able to pass him off as her husband. She soon found Kim Woo-ju and asked if he was married. After he said no, she asked if he could pretend to be her husband just for a day at the department store. Kim Woo-ju misunderstood, thinking Yumi-ri wanted to use a fake marriage to scam other men. He warned her to drop the idea and even threatened to watch her at the department store over the weekend, vowing to call the police if he spotted any fraudulent activity. After rejecting Yumi-ri, Kim Woo-ju went to the hospital to visit his good friend Yoon Jin-kyung, thanking her for taking care of his grandmother while he was abroad. Yoon Jin-kyung, who had developed feelings for Kim Woo-ju, hinted during their chat that she had nearly taken on the role of a granddaughter-in-law over the years. Oblivious Kim Woo-ju did not catch her drift. The conversation shifted, and Yoon Jin-kyung asked when he planned to start working at the company. Kim Woo-ju's grandmother owns Korea's largest dessert company. After his parents passed away, his aunt's family took care of him. However, his cousin, employed at the company for many years, had shown no progress. Frustrated, the grandmother removed her nephew from his marketing director position and decided to appoint Kim Woo-ju instead. The aunt was displeased that her son was replaced, but the grandmother, who separates personal from professional matters, insisted on appointing Kim Woo-ju and having her nephew start over from scratch. At this point, Kim Woo-ju was unaware that his appointment had already sparked a significant controversy within the company. Just then, a little girl suddenly fell and sat on the ground, crying loudly. Kim Woo-ju walked over to comfort her. When he saw the doll on her bag, he was reminded of a long-ago memory. As a child, his parents died in a car accident, and he was the only survivor. After being taken to the hospital, a strange little girl came to comfort him and gave him a talking teddy bear, a warmth Kim Woo-ju still remembers vividly. However, he never knew the girl's name or where she is now. The next day, Kim Woo-ju officially started his new role. At Kim Woo-ju's first group meeting, his deputy reported that the company was launching a new gift box. Kim Woo-ju's grandmother, the group's chairwoman, approved of the packaging design, believing it would enhance the joy of unwrapping for consumers. However, his cousin pointed out that the design had copyright issues. 6 months earlier, as group leader, the cousin had approved the design paperwork, which offered permanent authorization and one-time authorization options. For a one-time event, the cousin chose the cheaper one-time authorization. Now, as they prepared to launch the product officially, the deputy had forgotten to renew the contract with the design company. The cousin had known about this copyright risk and intentionally waited to bring it up during Kim Woo-ju's chaired meeting to embarrass him. Kim Woo-ju promised to contact the design company immediately to extend the contract. Kim Woo-ju instructed his staff to reach out to the design company's representative, who then demanded a copyright fee of 50 million won, 10 times the original amount. At this time, Kim Woo-ju had no idea that the representative of the design company was Yoo Mi-ri, who had just received a mysterious call. The caller stated that the dessert company intended to buy out the rights to the gift box design and suggested she could raise the design fee. Yoo Mi-ri, unsure who was calling, decided to start with a high price and see how things unfolded. Kim Woo-ju, unwilling to be exploited by the design company, considered changing the gift box design. However, his employees reported that the initial production costs of the gift box had already amounted to 150 million won, and changing the design now would waste the initial investment. Kim Woo-ju reluctantly instructed his staff to arrange a meeting with the design company's representative, planning to negotiate personally. Meanwhile, Yoo Mi-ri had not yet heard back from the company but received a notification from the department store. They reminded her that if she could not confirm her husband's attendance at the award ceremony today, her prize would be forfeited. Desperate, Yoo Mi-ri went to her ex-boyfriend's house, hoping his mother could help contact him. His mother, who looked down on the less affluent and was proud of her son's wealthier new girlfriend, ridiculed Yoo Mi-ri for her ordinary background and lack of education, deeming her unworthy of her son. Her ex-boyfriend's sister also belittled Yoo Mi-ri. Faced with their disdain, Yoo Mi-ri abandoned the idea of seeking help. She warned them to pretend not to know her if they ever met on the street, and mocked her ex-boyfriend for being a mama's boy. After making her point, Yoo Mi-ri left her ex-boyfriend's house with firm steps. Just as she reached the door, Yoo Mi-ri received a call from an employee. The company's manager invited her to discuss the specifics of the gift box copyright. Kim Woo-ju came later with the relevant contract, but never expected the design company's representative waiting for him to be Yoo Mi-ri. Yoo Mi-ri was equally surprised to find that the company manager seeking her help was Kim Woo-ju. Now, their roles reversed. Yoo Mi-ri offered to sign the contract at the original price if Kim Woo-ju agreed to pretend to be her husband. Kim Woo-ju, mistaking her request as another attempt at fraud, was reluctant to collude. Yoo Mi-ri, seeing no other option, explained the situation about her winning the prize and pleaded with him, emphasizing her need for the house as a soon-to-be divorced woman. Realizing her request was genuine and recalling his cousin's provocation and his grandmother's advice, Kim Woo-ju decided to help. Yoo Mi-ri quickly signed the contract, resolving Kim Woo-ju's immediate problem. On the award ceremony day, Yoo Mi-ri had Kim Woo-ju wear a wedding ring and glasses to resemble her ex-boyfriend more closely. When the staff checked their IDs, Kim Woo-ju claimed he left them in the car but confidently recited his ex-boyfriend's ID number and their registered marriage date. After completing all verification steps, Yoo Mi-ri successfully finalized the award procedures. They were photographed with the department store representative, aware the photos would be in the news. Kim Woo-ju wore a mask and hat to cover up, and Yoo Mi-ri used flowers to hide her face. After the ceremony, Baek Sang-hyun from the department store took them to see the prize villa. Yoo Mi-ri was very pleased with the idyllic garden and spacious house, but lied that it was too far from their workplaces and wanted to sell it. Baek Sang-hyun, showing them the recently signed property guidelines, reminded them they must live in the house for 3 months before they could transfer ownership. Until then, the house remained the department store's property, and they had no right to sell it. If they divorced within 3 months, the prize would be forfeited, and inspectors would visit to verify their residency. Baek Sang-hyun revealed he lived opposite the villa, and seeing them daily would suffice for the inspection. Kim Woo-ju was overwhelmed by the complications his simple act of help had caused. Refusing to continue the charade with Yoo Mi-ri, he walked outside, feeling he had been too harsh with her, and called to apologize. Just as she answered, his aunt and cousin unexpectedly appeared. and he hurriedly ended the call. They were visiting a nearby entrepreneur and were surprised to encounter Kim Woo-ju. They questioned why he was there, and before he could explain, Baek Sang-hyun, out for a walk, approached to greet Kim Woo-ju and his wife. Caught off guard, and seeing Yumi-ri approaching while on the phone, Kim Woo-ju was at a loss for words. The situation suddenly became tense. Kim Woo-ju urgently signaled to Yumi-ri not to come over. Sensing the urgency, Yumi-ri quickly used her hair to cover her face and squatted at the corner to hide. In the chaos, she accidentally dropped her phone. Kim Woo-ju went to great lengths to send Baek Sang-hyun away. The aunt and cousin, who missed the excitement, had no choice but to leave. Just then, Yumi-ri's phone suddenly rang. Hearing the ringtone, the aunt got out of the car, picked up the phone, and looked around for the owner. She accidentally spotted Yumi-ri hiding nearby. Frightened, Yumi-ri immediately hid in a doghouse, pretending to be a mentally unstable homeless woman, and managed to retrieve her phone from her aunt. The crisis was finally averted. However, Kim Woo-ju could no longer endure such nerve-wracking situations. He called Yumi-ri and asked her not to stay in the villa anymore, as Baek Sang-hyun would eventually discover her living alone. He declared their arrangement over and warned Yumi-ri not to cause him more trouble. The previous rental had been terminated, and the marital home repossessed by the landlord. With no place to stay, Yumi-ri, dragging her suitcase, wandered the streets. She thought of staying with a friend, only to find out the friend had enlisted and the house was rented out. At a loss, she saw an ad for a motel, promising no deposit required, which instantly attracted her. Yumi-ri arrived at the motel with her luggage. Although the cleanliness was questionable, at least she had a place to stay. She expected a sleepless first night, but surprisingly slept until 9 o'clock. After getting ready, she hurried to the hospital to meet a client. Upon leaving, she coincidentally met Yoon Jin-kyung, who had bandaged her wounds previously. Yoon Jin-kyung had heard from Kim Woo-ju about his chaotic first meeting with Yumi-ri, and how during their second encounter, Yumi-ri had directly proposed marriage. She took the opportunity to probe into Yumi-ri and Kim Woo-ju's relationship, causing Yumi-ri to awkwardly explain that it was just a joke. She went to the company to present her design proposal to Kim Woo-ju's marketing team, which was unanimously approved, giving her a sense of relief. The team decided to celebrate with a dinner and warmly invited Yumi-ri to join. During the meal, the conversation turned to buying houses, and the workers who couldn't afford one expressed envy of the lucky person who had won a department store villa prize. Someone took out their phone to check who the winner was. Yumi-ri quickly signaled to Kim Woo-ju to stop them. He immediately covered the phone with a menu, suggesting they order more food to divert attention, and discreetly hid the phone. After adding more dishes, Yumi-ri stood up and continued to urge everyone to drink. By the time the dinner was nearly over, she was quite tipsy. She ran to the restroom to wash her face and sober up, only to be followed by the senior employee who had invited her, who bluntly asked her to pay the bill. Kim Woo-ju realized that they were taking advantage of Yumi-ri, treating her as an easy target. To avoid affecting future cooperation, Yumi-ri reluctantly agreed to pay, but her card was declined repeatedly due to insufficient funds. At her most embarrassed moment, Kim Woo-ju stepped in and paid with his card. The opportunistic senior employee lied, claiming Yumi-ri had offered to treat everyone. Kim Woo-ju immediately objected, stating it made no sense for a single collaborator to pay for the entire group's meal. After dinner, everyone suggested continuing the night at a KTV. Kim Woo-ju, worried that the inebriated Yumi-ri might say something inappropriate, insisted on taking her home. At the motel, Yumi-ri dumped the contents of her suitcase on the floor, searching for her room key, only to remember she had left in a rush that morning without taking it. Kim Woo-ju, both annoyed and helpless, had to run from the 5th floor to the lobby to ask the manager to unlock the door. After settling Yumi-ri on the bed, he noticed in the mirror that the manager was looking at Yumi-ri with ill intent. Suppressing his unease, he quickly left the motel. Reaching his car, he realized he had left his keys in Yumi-ri's room. Kim Woo-ju called Yumi-ri, and just as she answered, he heard her scream. Recalling the manager's expression, he was convinced she was being harassed, and rushed back to the room. Upon seeing the manager in her room, he punched him, causing a nosebleed. A confused Yumi-ri questioned why he had hit someone without reason. Kim Woo-ju accused the manager of touching her leg, But Yumi-ri explained that she had spilled hot noodles on her foot, and the manager was merely helping by bringing a first aid kit. Realizing the misunderstanding, Kim Woo-ju carefully apologized. However, the aggrieved manager firmly demanded that Yumi-ri leave, no longer wanting to deal with their erratic behavior. After being evicted, Kim Woo-ju treated Yumi-ri's burn. Finding out she had nowhere to go, he reluctantly took her to the villa she had won in the prize draw, cautioning her to live there secretly and avoid being discovered by Baek Sang-hyun. Having found a place to stay, Yumi-ri slept soundly in the villa. After waking up, she stepped outside to breathe the fresh air and was appreciating the villa's beautiful environment when she suddenly saw Baek Sang-hyun coming out of the house across the street. She quickly ducked down to hide and only relaxed after confirming she hadn't been spotted. However, not long after, she received a call from Baek Sang-hyun, informing her that a company representative would visit according to procedure and advised her to be prepared. Yumi-ri hadn't anticipated any follow-up matters and slept that night without turning on the lights, using only her phone's light to barely manage her evening routine. A mosquito kept her from sleeping, and while trying to kill it, she accidentally activated the voice-controlled lights. She scrambled to turn them off but struggled with the controls, causing the lights to flicker intermittently. Baek Sang-hyun noticed the flickering lights in the villa across and knocked on Yumi-ri's door, saying he had vehicle registration documents to pass on. Yumi-ri seized the opportunity to ask about how to use the voice-controlled lights. Baek Sang-hyun entered the room, took out the remote, and patiently taught her how to manage and turn off the lights. Noticing only one pair of women's shoes at the door and no other male belongings around, Baek Sang-hyun grew suspicious and questioned whether her husband was living there. Yumi-ri lied that her husband's belongings were on the second floor and she hadn't had time to arrange them yet. Baek Sang-hyun left somewhat unconvinced and reminded her that the company representative would visit next week. To avoid revealing her secret, Yumi-ri called Kim Woo-ju for help, asking him to bring over some unworn clothes and personal items to stage the house. Kim Woo-ju, worried that solving this problem might only lead to new ones in the future, decided on a permanent solution. He took Yumi-ri to a photo booth to take wedding photos, planning to hang the pictures in the villa and display some personal items to prevent any further questions about their relationship. Yumi-ri, wearing a wedding dress, appeared awkwardly in front of Kim Woo-ju, who was instantly captivated. Since meeting her, it was the first time he realized how beautiful Yumi-ri was. To make the photos look authentic, he pulled Yumi-ri onto his lap and posed intimately. However, as they looked into each other's eyes, both felt their hearts pounding. Kim Woo-ju went out first, letting Yumi-ri change out of the wedding dress. Just as he stepped outside, he saw a subordinate taking pictures with a friend and quickly retreated back to the photo room. But the subordinate had already come looking for him. In a panic, to avoid being recognized, he hastily kissed Yumi-ri. Kim Woo-ju hung the wedding photos on the wall in Yumi-ri's room and even suggested they go together to borrow repair tools from Baek Sang-hyun. In front of Baek Sang-hyun, they posed sweetly, working hard to maintain the facade of a loving married couple. The next day during a meeting, Kim Woo-ju's subordinate stared at his back, increasingly convinced he resembled the groom she had seen kissing at the photo studio the day before. She shared her observations with colleagues, and the gossip-prone co-workers immediately inquired if she had seen the bride clearly. Reflecting on the details, the subordinate felt the bride looked very much like Yumi-ri. Yumi-ri's heart raced as the subordinate reached for her phone to call the photo studio for the reservation list. But just then, Kim Woo-ju entered the conference room, announcing the official start of the meeting, which interrupted the subordinate's actions. After the meeting, Yumi-ri pulled Kim Woo-ju aside in the stairwell, worried the subordinate would continue her investigation. Kim Woo-ju reassured her to relax, explaining that he had not used his real name when booking the photo shoot, so even if they inquired, there would be no way to verify it. Before parting, Kim Woo-ju told Yumi-ri that his grandmother really appreciated her design and wanted her to present it to her at the next meeting. At that moment, Kim Woo-ju's grandmother was recuperating at home. She was informed that the head of the accounting department had died in a car accident. Kim Woo-ju's uncle told the grandmother that the deceased had a gambling problem and had embezzled company funds to pay off his debts. He suggested that the company should not pursue the matter further to maintain the deceased's dignity, and the grandmother agreed, unaware of the truth. In reality, it was the uncle who had embezzled the funds. The department head had discovered discrepancies in the accounts and reported them to the uncle. Fearing exposure, the uncle kindly offered the department head a drink before he drove home. After drinking it, the department head felt dizzy and crashed into an oncoming truck, dying instantly. During a family dinner where the department head's accident was discussed, Kim Woo-ju's aunt reminded everyone to be careful while driving. This brought back painful memories for Kim Woo-ju, who had survived a car accident that killed his parents. Kim Woo-ju quietly went to his room, haunted by the crash that had killed his parents. He was the only one to crawl out of the wrecked car. A man passing by with a little girl had seen him, called for help, and taken him to the police station. To comfort him, the little girl had given him her teddy bear, and even cried for him. Kim Woo-ju took the cherished teddy bear out of his drawer. Whenever life felt overwhelmingly tough, this bear gave him the strength to endure sleepless nights. The next day, a department store representative came to inspect the home. Kim Woo-ju voluntarily played the role of Yumi-ri's husband. The couple dressed in matching outfits, and Kim Woo-ju's personal belongings were displayed throughout the house, making them look like newlyweds. To ensure they passed the inspection, Yumi-ri had Kim Woo-ju memorize the date she supposedly married her ex-boyfriend and their planned honeymoon itinerary. Kim Woo-ju couldn't help but criticize Yumi-ri's taste for falling for a guy who took advantage of her and cheated. Yumi-ri recalled meeting her ex-boyfriend. She had fallen into water during a trip, and he had rescued her. She was attracted to his handsome face as soon as she opened her eyes. She did not regret the relationship, despite his lack of conscience and kindness. While they were chatting, Baek Sung-hyun called to inform them that the representative had to cancel the visit due to unforeseen circumstances. Relieved, Kim Woo-ju got up to leave but then noticed a Lucky Charm doll Yumi-ri had designed for the company. He sat back down, intrigued, and they started discussing it until he received a call from Yoon Jin-kyung. He had completely forgotten about a planned meeting with her. Yoon Jin-kyung, who had intended to confess her feelings during the meeting, had to lie about working late after he forgot. The following day, Yumi-ri went to the company to present her design report to Kim Woo-ju's grandmother and the executives. Just as she was about to start, she received a call from her mother, who was going to visit her ex-boyfriend's mother to deliver some vegetables. Concerned about her breakup becoming public, Yumi-ri shared the situation with Kim Woo-ju. He told Yumi-ri to stay and give the presentation while he went to stop her mother. It turned out that before heading to the city, Yumi-ri's mother had tried to call her but couldn't get through. She then called Yumi-ri's ex-boyfriend, who, annoyed while on vacation, hung up the phone. At that moment, the ex-boyfriend unexpectedly saw a text message on his new girlfriend's phone displaying only a room number. Without overthinking it, after their meeting, he headed back to their room while his girlfriend mentioned she was going to meet a friend nearby and asked him to return alone. Recalling the room number he had seen, he became suspicious. Pretending to obey, he secretly followed her instead. To his shock, she indeed went to the room from the message and eagerly kissed the man who opened the door as soon as she reached the hallway. Meanwhile, unable to contact anyone, Yumi-ri's mother arrived at her ex-boyfriend's house carrying homemade dishes. The ex-boyfriend's mother and sister coldly informed her that Yumi-ri and her son had long broken up, and mockingly said that Yumi-ri, being poor and inferior, was never a match for him. They told her to stop bothering them. Yumi-ri's mother, trying to smile, suggested there might be a misunderstanding but was arrogantly pushed out the door and accidentally fell, scattering the dishes on the ground. Kim Woo-ju, who arrived just in time, witnessed the scene. He immediately helped Yumi-ri's mother up and carefully gathered the scattered dishes. He then kindly drove her to the station. Upon learning that he was Yumi-ri's business partner, her mother quickly advised him not to believe the ex-boyfriend's mother's slander, emphasizing that Yumi-ri was a kind and ambitious girl. Kim Woo-ju sincerely expressed that his interactions with Yumi-ri had already shown him her many good qualities, indicating that it was the ex-boyfriend's family who lacked discernment. Yumi-ri's mother asked Kim Woo-ju not to tell Yumi-ri that she knew about the breakup, then called Yumi-ri, lying that she hadn't met the ex-boyfriend's mother. However, she was unaware that Yumi-ri already knew the truth, as the ex-boyfriend's sister had contacted Yumi-ri in a harsh tone, scolding her for her mother's disturbance and warning her not to let such incidents happen again. When Kim Woo-ju delivered the homemade dishes his mother had prepared to Yumi-ri, he noticed she had been crying. He suggested that she come clean with her mother about the truth, reasoning that both were considering each other's feelings, and it would be better to clarify things and sever ties with the ex-boyfriend's family. Under Kim Woo-ju's guidance, Yumi-ri called her mother, apologizing for hiding the truth and for causing her worry. Her mother bluntly stated on the phone that she had never liked the ex-boyfriend's family and had only maintained the relationship because of Yumi-ri's feelings for him. Now that they were broken up, there was no need to tolerate them anymore. While Yumi-ri was tasting the dishes her mother had sent, she received another call from her. Her mother couldn't find her wallet and thought it might be in Kim Woo-ju's car. Yumi-ri called Kim Woo-ju to ask him to look for it. Kim Woo-ju found the wallet in a crevice of the car seat, and upon opening it, he saw a family photo of Yumi-ri as a little girl, holding a teddy bear he recognized all too well. He had seen this same photo previously while helping a sleeping Yumi-ri tidy up in a motel, realizing then that the little girl he had been looking for all these years was right beside him. This realization had motivated him to actively pose as a loving husband in front of Baek Sang-hyun and go to great lengths to help her through her difficulties, all to repay a small act of kindness from the past. Expecting the call to be from Kim Woo-ju about the wallet, Yumi-ri was surprised to find her ex-boyfriend on the line instead. Having been deceived, he had returned to the country and wanted to reconcile with her immediately. Meanwhile, Kim Woo-ju, having found the wallet, also dialed Yumi-ri's number. When the ex-boyfriend caught his new girlfriend secretly meeting another man in the room, he angrily demanded an explanation. The new girlfriend bluntly informed him that it was the fiancé her family had chosen for her, but he had no need to worry. The husband would often be away on business, leaving no obstacle to their secret meetings. The ex-boyfriend never imagined he would become the other man. He forced his girlfriend to choose between them. To his shock, she didn't hesitate. She chose her fiancé and cut him off without a second thought. Humiliated, the ex-boyfriend immediately returned home. As soon as he landed, he called Yumi-ri to reconcile, but she hung up the moment she recognized his voice. Convinced Yumi-ri couldn't live without him, the ex-boyfriend dismissed her coldness as a tantrum. Yumi-ri hung up on him, only to receive a call from Kim Woo-ju. She learned her mother's lost wallet had been found, and they agreed to meet the next day to retrieve it. Kim Woo-ju couldn't hide his delight at seeing Yumi-ri again, but he never expected Baek Sang-hyun would come to his company for a business meeting. His grandmother and uncle specifically asked him to deliver the files. Afraid Baek Sang-hyun would recognize him, Kim Woo-ju feigned stomach pain and sent someone else instead. He thought he'd gotten away with it, until his uncle walked Baek Sang-hyun out and ran into him downstairs. The uncle introduced them on the spot. Forced to play along, Kim Woo-ju awkwardly introduced himself, as if they'd never met. To his surprise, Baek Sang-hyun extended his hand and pretended they were meeting for the first time too. Alone in the elevator, Kim Woo-ju quickly made up an excuse. He hadn't acknowledged their relationship, to avoid complicating work matters. Fortunately, Baek Sang-hyun kept things professional. He didn't want personal ties to affect the business, and went along with the act. Just then, the elevator doors suddenly opened. Yumi-ri was standing outside. She hesitated for a split second upon seeing them together, but quickly composed herself. Yumi-ri took the opportunity to pull out his wallet from his pocket, claiming he had mistakenly taken hers. Kim Woo-ju went along with the lie, muttering about how he must have grabbed the wrong one in his morning rush. Baek Sang-hyun immediately pressed further. He had seen Yumi-ri alone at the neighborhood gate that morning. She had clearly mentioned Kim Woo-ju worked overtime at the office all night and didn't come home. How could he have taken her wallet by mistake in the morning? Realizing they were exposed, Kim Woo-ju slapped his forehead. He blamed his overtime-induced confusion. He must have mixed up wallets 2 days ago. After seeing Baek Sang-hyun off, they both exhaled in relief. Kim Woo-ju scolded Yumi-ri for not informing him about their morning encounter earlier, which left their stories misaligned. He took advantage of the situation to demand they contact each other 4 times daily: morning, noon, evening, and bedtime, with constant updates on their whereabouts. Yumi-ri felt this level of acting was unnecessary. Kim Woo-ju blurted out that newlyweds usually contact each other 12 times a day. The moment he said it, he realized he had given himself away. He quickly spun it, claiming it was for Yumi-ri's sake. The next day, Yumi-ri dined with a friend on military leave when Kim Woo-ju approached to join their table. The friend immediately fawned over Kim Woo-ju's good looks and exposed Yumi-ri's past. She's always been obsessed with pretty faces, she said. Once, she gave away her favorite teddy bear. Just because a little boy's head looked nice. She called him her first love. Yu Mei-ri hurriedly explained. She felt sorry for him after his accident. Though his head was indeed handsome, Kim Woo-ju couldn't resist touching his own head. He asked if she remembered the boy. Yu Mei-ri sighed. I never saw him again after that. But he was so handsome. My childhood crush. I'm sure he's even more outstanding now. Upon realizing he was her childhood crush, Kim Woo-ju's heart soared. His joy was impossible to hide. At night, he dined with Yoon Jin-kyung. Yoon Jin-kyung had been preparing to confess her feelings, but Kim Woo-ju was still immersed in joy. He excitedly shared that he finally found out. The girl who gave him the teddy bear years ago was Yu Mei-ri. Yoon Jin-kyung couldn't ignore his beaming smile. A pang of jealousy surged in her heart. Kim Woo-ju fell into recollection. After starting middle school, he got Yu Mei-ri's address from the police. He went there specifically to thank her father. But he learned that 2 months after the accident, Yu Mei-ri's father had died, while adding supplementary statements at the police station. Later, outside Yu Mei-ri's home, he overheard her mother complain. If we hadn't gone to the police station, this wouldn't have happened. We shouldn't have meddled in others' business. Kim Woo-ju was consumed with guilt. He believed he caused Yu Mei-ri's father's death. Because of this, he never dared to reveal himself to Yu Mei-ri. He still wasn't sure whether he should tell the truth. Out of self-interest, Yoon Jin-kyung advised against confessing. Otherwise, Yu Mei-ri would surely think he indirectly caused her father's death. He needed to consider her feelings more. Kim Woo-ju felt downhearted. He ultimately decided to follow her advice and keep his identity hidden for now. On the anniversary of his parents' death, the family went to a temple for prayers. Afterward, his cousin suggested eating seaweed soup. After all, it was also Kim Woo-ju's birthday. But his aunt suddenly sneered. Kim Woo-ju killed his own parents. He doesn't deserve to celebrate his birthday. Kim Woo-ju's heart ached. On the way back, he couldn't ignore his grandmother's complicated expression. It made him feel even worse. Years ago, he had complained about his parents for giving him a gift meant for his cousin instead. He threw a tantrum in the car. His father drove while turning back to calm him down. Then a truck suddenly sped toward them. His father swerved too late. The car careened off the bridge. His parents died on the spot. At the funeral, Kim Woo-ju was consumed with guilt. He believed his tantrum had killed his parents. His grandfather couldn't bear this cruel truth. He glared at him with hatred, as if he wanted to tear him apart. But no one knew the crash wasn't an accident. After the incident, a mysterious person came to inspect the scene. Once they confirmed Kim Woo-ju's parents were dead, they sent a message to his uncle. Unaware of the truth, Kim Woo-ju hadn't celebrated his birthday since his parents' death. He recalled his aunt's icy taunts and his grandparents' blame. His chest ached so badly, he could barely breathe. Just as he reached for painkillers, he suddenly received a message from Yu Mei-ri. She had learned from a workgroup chat that it was his birthday today and wanted to celebrate with him. Kim Woo-ju seized the chance to ask her to treat him to dinner. When he arrived at her place, he saw a table laden with delicious food and a specially made birthday cake. His pain eased in that moment. He confided in Yu Mei-ri that he hadn't celebrated his birthday since age 8. Every year on this day, he would bury himself under covers, hoping time would pass quickly. Yu Mei-ri felt sorry for his past and comforted him warmly. If sleeping helps you feel better, then go ahead, she said. At that moment, Yu Mei-ri suddenly spotted 2 rainbows in the sky after the rain. Excitedly, she pulled Kim Woo-ju outside to make a wish. Yu Mei-ri closed her eyes and wished to earn a lot of money, for her mother to stay healthy, and for the secrets of this house never to be discovered. After making her wish, she turned to ask Kim Woo-ju what he had wished for. Kim Woo-ju pretended he couldn't remember, but in that brief moment, he had made his most sincere wish, that Yu Mei-ri, who always pulled him out of despair. She ran toward him, but tripped over a water pipe on the ground, and fell straight into Kim Woo-ju's arms. Both felt their hearts pounding like drums. Their gazes locked, and the stirring emotion spread between them. Kim Woo-ju slowly leaned in, and Yu Mei-ri gradually moved closer. But this sweet moment was witnessed by her ex-boyfriend who had come looking for her. Just as Kim Woo-ju was about to kiss her, Yoo Mi-ri spotted her ex-boyfriend. Startled, she immediately pulled Kim Woo-ju down to hide. The ex-boyfriend, who hadn't seen clearly, assumed it was just someone who looked like Yoo Mi-ri. Though Yoo Mi-ri had temporarily avoided exposure, she couldn't shake off her worry. Once her ex-boyfriend found out about the villa, he would do anything to claim it. Kim Woo-ju suggested that when the time came, she could team up with her ex-boyfriend to keep the house. But Yoo Mi-ri refused to have anything to do with him or his family again. She silently prayed that he would stop bothering her, so she could successfully sell the house within 3 months. The ex-boyfriend still wouldn't give up and went to her company. He claimed he had weighed his options between his new girlfriend and Yoo Mi-ri, and ultimately chose Yoo Mi-ri. But Yoo Mi-ri had seen through his family's true nature. Every word he said disgusted her. She showed no mercy and kicked him out. After finally getting rid of him, Yoo Mi-ri threw herself into work. A few days later, the gift box she designed for the company was completed. To add a unique touch, she invited a renowned poet to write philosophical words and turned them into cards placed inside the gift box. Kim Woo-ju was very pleased with Yoo Mi-ri's design. He rushed to produce the gift boxes and distribute them to department stores and customers. But on the day of delivery, a scandal broke out. The poet had caused a disturbance on a flight while drunk. Worried about the company's reputation, Kim Woo-ju quickly arranged for employees to intercept delivery drivers and remove the cards before they reached customers. Everyone split up to act fast. They managed to intercept most of the products still en route, but one had already been delivered to a customer's doorstep. Kim Woo-ju immediately rushed to the location. When he opened the takeout box at the door, he nearly got attacked by the homeowner's dog. At the critical moment, Yoo Mi-ri pulled out meat jerky she always carried and fed it to the dog. This bought enough time for Kim Woo-ju to successfully retrieve the card. After completing the task, Kim Woo-ju's uncle reported to his grandmother that the marketing team had resolved the gift box incident. He didn't want to give credit to Kim Woo-ju and deliberately attributed it to the team's collective effort. But the grandmother still praised Kim Woo-ju's management skills and affirmed his abilities. She reminded the uncle to support Kim Woo-ju properly. The uncle begrudgingly accepted this, but dared not show it openly. Leaving the office, he unexpectedly saw the wife of the department head he had killed come to visit his grandmother. It turned out, while sorting through her husband's belongings, the wife had found a financial report. She thought it might be useful for the company and brought it over personally. Upon seeing the financial report, his grandmother's expression turned extremely serious. The uncle, fearing his embezzlement secret would be exposed, immediately called his woman in America. He demanded she close down her consulting firm and restaurant and leave no trace of evidence. No one expected the woman answering the call would be his other wife. They had not only secretly settled in America together, but also had a 7 or 8-year-old son. At that moment, Kim Woo-ju came to deliver coffee to his uncle to thank him for helping with the gift box incident. The uncle hurriedly covered the financial report with files, but in his panic, he accidentally knocked over the coffee. While helping clean up, Kim Woo-ju inadvertently saw the financial report. The consulting firm's name was clearly written on it. Kim Woo-ju pretended not to notice and left the office smoothly. The next day, Kim Woo-ju went out with Yoo Mi-ri. On his way to take her back to her company, Yoo Mi-ri received another call from her ex-boyfriend. Without hesitation, she hung up immediately. Anxious, the ex-boyfriend racked his brains, trying to figure out how to win her back. His sister, unaware he had broken up with the rich girl, warned him to stop contacting Yoo Mi-ri. Recently, they had driven away Yoo Mi-ri's mother when she came to visit. The incident had ended in great embarrassment. Furious at his sister and mother for being terrible allies, the ex-boyfriend convinced himself Yoo Mi-ri was angry about this and ignoring him. To seek forgiveness, he immediately went to Yoo Mi-ri's company. As he was about to get out of his car, he suddenly saw Yoo Mi-ri walk out with Kim Woo-ju. To figure out their relationship, the ex-boyfriend secretly followed Kim Woo-ju's car to the villa neighborhood. Unaware of being followed, Kim Woo-ju dropped Yoo Mi-ri off at her place and prepared to leave. But he suddenly saw Baek Sang-hyun emerge from the opposite house. In a panic, He had no choice but to follow Yumi-ri back into her room. The room displayed their wedding photos and was filled with his belongings. Kim Woo-ju couldn't shake the illusion that they really lived together. To hide his secret delight, he offered to help Yumi-ri hang the shower curtain, but in his panic, he accidentally hit the shower head and drenched himself instantly. Yumi-ri stepped forward to help dry his clothes. Kim Woo-ju tried to do it himself, but ended up grabbing her hand when he reached for it. The atmosphere suddenly turned Aime. Both felt uneasy. Kim Woo-ju wanted to get closer to Yumi-ri and invited her to lunch together tomorrow. Yumi-ri happily agreed. After his clothes dried somewhat, Kim Woo-ju left Yumi-ri's house. Hiding in the shadows, the ex-boyfriend clearly saw his face and confirmed he was the man with Yumi-ri that day. Unaware of the danger, Yumi-ri went out to throw away trash when the ex-boyfriend materialized beside her like a ghost. He demanded to know what she was doing there and pressed about her relationship with Kim Woo-ju. Just as Yumi-ri was about to make up an excuse, the ex-boyfriend noticed the trash in her hand and immediately assumed she worked there as a maid. Yumi-ri went along with his assumption and lied it was a friend's house, currently unoccupied. She was staying there temporarily while helping maintain it. The ex-boyfriend refused to let it go. He insisted on knowing what Kim Woo-ju was to Yumi-ri. He followed Yumi-ri into the courtyard and accused her of having an affair. Yumi-ri angrily retorted that he was the one having an affair, and who she dated now had nothing to do with him. He scolded her for being ungrateful, since he had already apologized. Worried he might see the wedding photos on the wall, Yumi-ri clapped her hands to voice control, turn off the lights. Then she tried to push him out. Yumi-ri accidentally let go when she couldn't match his strength. The ex-boyfriend fell hard onto the ground. With no other choice, Yumi-ri took him to the hospital. The doctor said he had a fractured wrist and thigh strain and needed hospitalization. Taking advantage of the situation, the ex-boyfriend played the victim and demanded Yumi-ri stay to take care of him. Trapped, Yumi-ri had no choice but to stay. In her distress, she forgot about her lunch date with Kim Woo-ju. Kim Woo-ju waited in vain and finally called to ask what happened. Yumi-ri didn't want to worry him and lied that a friend was injured and she was looking after them at the hospital. Disappointed, Kim Woo-ju was about to leave when he got a call from Yoon-jin Kyung inviting him to dinner. He went to the hospital to meet her, only to run into Yumi-ri, who was supporting the ex-boyfriend. Seeing Kim Woo-ju, the ex-boyfriend provocatively hugged Yumi-ri, pretending they were close. Jealous, Kim Woo-ju immediately pulled Yumi-ri away and hoisted the ex-boyfriend onto his shoulders. Ignoring his protests, he quickly carried him back to his room. Yumi-ri realized Kim Woo-ju was upset and explained she had lied about the injury to avoid troubling him. She stayed to take care of the ex-boyfriend because she feared he might cause trouble and lead to the house being taken back. Confused, Yumi-ri asked why Kim Woo-ju was angry. Kim Woo-ju replied, "I think I've fallen for you." Kim Woo-ju's sudden confession caught Yumi-ri off guard. She couldn't help but ask the reason. He admitted he was a divorced man. His family would surely not be satisfied. Kim Woo-ju took her hand, asking if his confession troubled her. Flustered, Yumi-ri rambled incoherently. She explained she couldn't separate love from marriage, which involved real-world issues like savings and housing. Kim Woo-ju mistook her concern for thinking he was after the lottery villa. Hurt, he defended himself, saying his family was well off and his salary was decent. Yumi-ri realized his misunderstanding and stuttered, saying she was just flustered. Kim Woo-ju admitted he was nervous too, and her reaction made him hesitant to speak further. He suggested they act as if it never happened. Yumi-ri hurried to explain she wasn't rejecting him and asked him not to be angry. As they reached the ward, her ex-boyfriend was waiting, glaring at them. He suspected Kim Woo-ju was the real owner of the villa. Kim Woo-ju went along with the lie, claiming he was the owner. The ex-boyfriend mocked him for meddling and having ulterior motives. Kim Woo-ju ignored him and forced him onto the bed. Yumi-ri then got a work call, and Kim Woo-ju let her leave, staying to care for the ex-boyfriend. He left only after the ex-boyfriend fell asleep. The next day, a roommate complained about the ex-boyfriend's odor. Kim Woo-ju had no choice but to help him bathe. Just then, the ex-boyfriend's mother and sister burst into the ward. The ex-boyfriend immediately cried to his mother about his pain. Kim Woo-ju, relieved he could leave, turned to go. the mother and sister pressed for the cause of his injury. The ex-boyfriend finally admitted his new girlfriend had a fiancé and had only used him. Now they had broken up, and he wanted Yu Mi-ri back. He begged his mother to apologize for her past mistreatment of Yu Mi-ri to win her back. The mother, unable to bear her precious son's distress, reluctantly called Yu Mi-ri, but still maintained a condescending attitude, as if reaching out was already a favor to Yu Mi-ri. Yu Mi-ri bluntly stated she wanted no further contact with the family and asked them to keep their son away. She then hung up decisively. Unaware of the ex-boyfriend and his mother's shameless behavior, Kim Woo-ju, eager to establish a relationship with Yu Mi-ri, took the initiative. One evening after work, he picked her up in his new car, boasting that she was the first to ride in it and that he would often give her rides. Yu Mi-ri was delighted, but playfully pretended not to be swayed by sweet words. To prove his sincerity, Kim Woo-ju handed her a carefully prepared bouquet of table tennis flowers from the back seat, feigning ignorance of its meaning and asking her to look it up. Upon learning, the flower language meant, "I am sincere," Yu Mi-ri realized he was subtly confessing his feelings, her heart fluttering with joy. At the villa gate, Yu Mi-ri also gave him a gift, thanking him for helping her ex-boyfriend. Kim Woo-ju jokingly protested that a gift alone wasn't enough. She should invite him in for instant noodles or a drink, and that he had something to show her. At Yu Mi-ri's home, Kim Woo-ju retrieved his childhood diary and account book, hoping she would understand his past through it. As she flipped through, she noticed repeated mentions of an unknown girl and pressed for details. When Kim Woo-jo stuttered and avoided answering, she suspected it was his first love. Embarrassed, he snatched the diary back, preventing her from reading further. Just then, an untimely growl from his stomach broke the awkwardness. The two ate tteokbokki, drank, and chatted. The atmosphere, light and pleasant. After the meal, it suddenly started pouring. Wanting to stay the night, Kim Woo-ju deliberately canceled his driver service order, claiming no one was available. Yu Mi-ri, unaware of his ploy, urged him to stay. Satisfied with his plan, Kim Woo-ju happily stretched out on the couch, relishing the warmth of being under the same roof as Yu Mi-ri. The next morning, the two wore matching outfits to the community cafeteria, aiming to be seen by Baek Sang-hyun to convince him they were truly married. After finishing their meal, they thought Baek Sang-hyun would stop monitoring them for a while. However, as they reached their doorstep, they bumped into Yoon Jin-kyung, who was coming out of Baek Sang-hyun's house. It turned out Baek Sang-hyun was Yoon Jin-kyung's patient. The previous night, they had dinner and drinks together. Drunk, Yoon Jin-kyung caused a scene and refused to leave Baek Sang-hyun's car. Forced to, Baek Sang-hyun took her home. After sobering up, Yoon Jin-kyung hurriedly left, only to run into Kim Woo-ju. She questioned why he was there. Unable to lie, Kim Woo-ju confessed their fake marriage plan. Yoon Jin-kyung warned him to stop immediately, as it was fraud by complicity. If exposed, it would damage the company's reputation, and his grandmother would never forgive him. Seeing Kim Woo-ju hesitate, Yoon Jin-kyung met Yu Mi-ri alone. She revealed that Kim Woo-ju was not an ordinary employee, but the company president's grandson and future leader. She urged Yu Mi-ri to push Kim Woo-ju away, as he would never refuse her requests, because Kim Woo-ju was the little boy Yu Mi-ri's father had saved in a car accident years ago. Yu Mi-ri's heart grew heavy with uncertainty. She wondered if Kim Woo-ju's closeness was genuine affection or just repayment of a debt. As her father's anniversary approached, she boarded a bus home with a heavy heart. Yoon Jin-kyung, knowing she had caused trouble, told Kim Woo-ju about approaching Yu Mi-ri. Kim Woo-ju immediately called Yu Mi-ri, but got no answer. He rushed to her house, unwilling to let any rift or misunderstanding come between them. At that moment, Yu Mi-ri was taking a walk in the village when she suddenly saw Kim Woo-ju. She asked if he still kept the doll she had given him years ago and said she had never blamed him for her father's death, telling him not to feel guilty or help her out of obligation. Kim Woo-ju confessed directly that he helped because he liked her and would stand by her no matter what. With that, he cupped her face and kissed her deeply. Yu Mi-ri and Kim Woo-jo sealed their relationship with a kiss. On the way back, Kim Woo-ju shared his past. After his parents' funeral, his grandfather, blaming him for their deaths, never spoke to him again. He was sent abroad at a young age. In middle school, he returned to look for Yu Mi-ri, but left after hearing her mother's remarks, thinking she regretted her father saving him. Yu Mi-ri explained that her mother had only lamented her father leaving too soon, never regretting saving him. Hearing this, Kim Woo-ju's years of guilt finally lifted. As they walked through the reed field, Yu Mi-ri mentioned often coming here with her father, who loved carrying her on his shoulders. Kim Woo-ju knelt and offered to carry her back, promising to stay by her side. But as he spoke, he tripped on wild grass, and they both fell to the ground. Looking up at the stars, Kim Woo-ju found Yumi-ri even brighter than the stars. Unable to contain himself, he kissed her gently. The next morning, Yumi-ri's mother prepared ginseng chicken soup to welcome her son-in-law. Having seen the couple embrace the night before, she had already guessed their relationship. She specifically reminded Kim Woo-ju that Yumi-ri was divorced, hoping neither he nor his family would mind her past. Kim Woo-ju solemnly assured her he didn't care about Yumi-ri's marriage record. He added that his grandmother was an excellent judge of character and would surely recognize Yumi-ri's merits and grow fond of her. Yumi-ri's mother was very pleased with his words and gave them her blessing to date. Kim Woo-ju accompanied the mother and daughter to pay respects to Yumi-ri's father. After so many years, he finally had the chance to thank him in person for saving his life. Yumi-ri's mother sighed, saying their fate was written in the stars, with Yumi-ri's father as the matchmaker. Yumi-ri made up her mind to confront Baek Sung-hyun about their fake marriage, to claim the prize, even if it meant losing the house or facing legal action. She would stand proudly by Kim Woo-ju's side and face his family without hesitation. Kim Woo-ju hugged her, grateful for her difficult decision and promising to stay by her side no matter what. Back in the city, Kim Woo-ju took Yumi-ri to a furniture store. Noticing her old kitchen cabinets, he wanted to gift a new set to Yumi-ri's mother. Yumi-ri tried to refuse, but Kim Woo-ju pleaded for a chance to contribute to the family, and she relented. As they carefully selected items, they failed to notice the ex-boyfriend's mother and sister were also there, witnessing them together. The mother immediately took their photo and sent it to her son, suspecting their relationship was more than platonic. Fearing Yumi-ri might be taken away, the ex-boyfriend launched an investigation into Kim Woo-ju's background. Meanwhile, at work, Kim Woo-ju, as the project lead, couldn't focus on his subordinate's report. His mind was entirely on Yumi-ri. He secretly texted her, complimenting her beauty and inviting her to dinner after work. Yumi-ri felt both nervous and sweet, worried about revealing their relationship, then scolded her for ignoring him. Yumi-ri complained that this could be seen, warning him not to flirt during work hours. Unaware, the two were deeply in love. Meanwhile, her ex-boyfriend had come to the company with a so-called report letter, intending to report Kim Woo-ju for abusing his power to get him fired. While waiting for the elevator, he overheard two employees discussing that Kim Woo-ju and his cousin were the president's grandson and grandson-in-law, respectively, and that a succession battle was coming. Upon learning Kim Woo-ju's true identity, the ex-boyfriend was thunderstruck. He realized he couldn't compare to Kim Woo-ju in any way, and broke down in regret, wishing he'd never divorced Yumi-ri. Yumi-ri remained completely unaware of his actions. Kim Woo-ju's grandmother invited the marketing team, including Yumi-ri, to dinner. Feeling nervous as if meeting her in-laws, Yumi-ri was extra careful with her behavior. At the dinner, the grandmother spoke about the company's philosophy, emphasizing that sincerity was most important in both life and business, and that she hated those who deceived others for personal gain. Her words stung Yumi-ri, as her relationship with Kim Woo-ju had started with deception. If the grandmother found out, she'd never approve. After the meal, Yumi-ri left with mixed feelings. At the door, she ran into Yoon Jin-kyung, who was there for a health checkup. Seeing the grandmother treat Yoon Jin-kyung like a granddaughter-in-law, Yumi-ri felt bitter. Colleagues gossiped that the two families were old friends, and that the grandmother was eager for Kim Woo-ju to marry Yoon Jin-kyung. The grandmother asked Yoon Jin-kyung about her progress with Kim Woo-ju. Knowing Kim Woo-ju liked Yumi-ri, Yoon Jin-kyung didn't want to be the one to break up their relationship. Hiding her disappointment, she told the grandmother they were only suited to be siblings, not lovers. The ex-boyfriend, an outsider in this love triangle, was far less enlightened. Lying at home, he brooded in anger. His mother ordered him to go and handle the reimbursement for his hospitalization. Reluctantly, he left. After finishing the paperwork, he suddenly remembered that Yumi-ri had once bought him an insurance policy. He called the insurance company, which informed him that he was the policyholder, but Yumi-ri was the one paying the premiums and the beneficiary. A staff member reminded him that Yumi-ri had said she'd pay the premiums first, until he got a stable job, at which point the beneficiary would be changed to him. Thinking of this, he demanded to change the beneficiary, citing their divorce. The company reminded him that he needed to provide a marriage certificate with the divorce date. Yumi-ri, unaware that the secret she'd been hiding, her failure to submit the divorce papers, was about to be exposed, received a call from Kim Woo-ju, who said he was coming to her house. Overjoyed, she waited eagerly. Soon, someone rang the doorbell. She excitedly opened it only to find her ex-boyfriend standing there. She impatiently warned him to leave, but he directly exposed her fake married life.